Hey there, Facebook friends. Alex here, along with
Janine.
And we're coming to you live with week 11.
Yeah, that sounds
yes,
right.
of our virtual hard hat tours, and getting a little more fancy with our technology. We've had too much time to play, so
clearly we need to have shows.
Hope you like our new intro. We like it. It's kind of fun to look back and see everything that's gone on in the last year. And we've come quite a long ways.
Yeah,
so.
And if you saw that video posted earlier on our Facebook page, if you notice in the bottom right corner, it says it's from our TikTok page, because we have a TikTok account, because we are young and hip and cool, obviously. So we have 2 posts. That is our second post. So stay tuned. We're going to try to do it weekly and see how cool we can be. And the answer is the limit does not exist.
Yeah. So you're going to want to stay tuned all hour. I don't know how long we'll go. It probably won't be an hour, but you're going to want to stay tuned. We've got some major news to share with you at the end of our tour. We also have some fun little tidbits along the way and some progress to show. So if this is your first time joining us, we're going to be showing you the progress that's taken place with our project in just the last week. Yep. We're doing this every week. So if you want to see more about the entire project, you can go back to the very beginning of time. It feels like it. March 17th. And get the full tour. But this is a tour of what's going on with our project here, our expansion project, which is a 2-story addition off the south side of the lobby here, adding restrooms, concession storage, and most importantly, air conditioning. We're currently a little casual today because they are just getting the air conditioning up and running this week. So we've been told potentially tomorrow we might have cool air in this building for the first time since 1929.
Woo!
Ever. Historic day. So.
Well, and then we had a pretty exciting week this week. Did you hear about the guy and his foot?
No. What happened?
Now, we are very cautious around here, but we did have a little incident where someone lost a toe.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but luckily...
was it one of our contractors?
No,
Oh,
it was
okay.
someone walking down the street.
Okay.
But it was right in front, and we didn't know what to do, and so we put the toe on ice because, we wanted to reattach it.
Yeah. What did you end up doing?
Well, we had to call the only people that would have this type of expertise, so we called the tow truck. That is courtesy of Kevin Nerad. Shout out to Kevin.
So that's the joke of the day.
It's the joke of the day, guys. Stay tuned for hilarious jokes and all things that happened this week in construction.
Alrighty, so let's get right into it. We're going to come back here, and one of the major things that's taken place in the last week, we were just talking about, actually, Janine, if you want to show off the mold over there.
Look at this mold of butter. I'm looking for comments. So this is, we talked about this last week. It came in last week for the first time. When you're looking around, especially at the crown molding from our lobby to our mezzanine, they have a really pretty lotus flower motif at the crown molding. So about 6 weeks, it is in the before time, before March 17th, lost track of time, they came in and did a molding of about a 2.5-foot section or so to get the exact replica of what is already in the theater. Because again, we are 90 years old. We are on the National Registry of Historic Places, so we wanted to, whatever we add and zhuzh, it has to be historically accurate to the theater. So they made a 7-foot-long slab of butter, and they've been making plaster molds that we're going to put in these lovely coves. You can see.
Yeah, so this is pretty exciting. If you come over here and look around, so this is one of the very first bays they've done. So if you look up and kind of scan around here, you'll see the plaster mold up there. So they have one cove done up here. And if you look closely, you can see the little screw hole. So that's how they attach it to the wall. And then those holes will get filled in with plaster. And then the whole thing will get painted over. You can see some of the seams right now. Those will get plastered in so it looks like one continuous thing. And behind there, we've talked about this for quite a while, our cove lights. So behind there are LED strip lights around there that will help provide lighting for these areas, and that's going to be the same throughout all of these coves. So really cool to see this coming together. As Janine was talking about, they're doing all of this right here on site. So they're casting. Actually, if you want to take them over and show some of the pieces that are drying right now. So they're casting them on site and then letting them dry, and then installing them usually within about a day or so.
And Alex, you asked more questions than I did to the plaster guys. What's the stuff in it?
So they put little fibers in there, and that helps bind it. It's kind of like if you think about rebar in concrete, that helps reinforce it, make it stronger. So they put this organic fibers in there. Actually, if you come over here and look at what looks like somebody shaved a Wookiee right here. So this is like a hemp grass, and as they create the plaster cast here, they put this in it, and that just creates a little more strength, tensile strength in there, so that as it goes up, it's going to be secure for many, many years to come.
90 years to
Yeah, so really cool that they're doing this on site and immediately then starting to install it. So they're going to be continuing out the rest of the bays here. At the same time they're doing that, they're also starting to work on some of the walls. So let's head down to the rear lobby here.
So, if you paid attention to our walls, which is a weird statement to say, but they have, so not only do they have different layers of paint and clothing, but if you actually rub your hand against it, it is three-dimensional. So there is some texture that is original. That's how, these decorative plaster would have been installed in the 20s. So again, when we're fixing up and putting in, for example, TV bays, we want to recreate that textured plaster look. Not only, so we're starting with the textured base, and then we'll be adding on the paint and everything with Conrad Schmidt Studios.
So they just did this wall today. I'll try and sneak by here so you can get a little closer look. So if you watch the last couple of weeks, they did a base coat where they prepped it. You can kind of see here some of the pink still coming through. We put on this binder to help make sure that the plaster adheres to the wall. And then today, one guy did this entire wall in a fairly short amount of time. Actually worked with him this morning. He did a couple of different mock-ups, trying some different brushes and sponges, trying some different techniques, and we kind of held the boards up to some of the different walls here to try and figure out which technique was going to best match the style that's in here. So this was done today. Very cool that he was able to do this entire wall in a short amount of time. And then this will be drying, and then in about 2 to 3 weeks they'll be able to prime and paint this and do the glaze, and hopefully by the end of it, it looks like pretty much all the other walls here. So it's pretty cool to see that process unfold here.
Very cool. And we talk a lot about the people who are doing the plasterwork and the painting. They're truly artists, because you see this, and to the layman, we're like, I don't know, you're just like slap it up there. No, to make something look perfectly imperfect is quite a skill. So like Alex said, there was such a trial and error process of being like, yeah, that's too poppy outy. We're very technical with our terminology, but no, trying to be like, what we want a medium ridge as compared to a pointy ridge. We want these little details of like the little vein types, because that's what would have been here. That's what we can see on the original walls. So yeah, it's been a very interesting process. We're learning a lot about decorative plaster. But yeah, he did a great job of making it look perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. And then we can come around over on this side and see over this last week, they also started installing the baseboard. So we've had wood baseboard throughout the theater, and we wanted to match that. So we found a company that was able to match the exact profile of the original wood. And actually, if you want to show real quick, kind of peel back the plastic over there.
Yeah.
It's dusty, but
Dusty, but she's still cute. Look at these nice boards.
so that's the original profile there. And then back over here is the brand new baseboard that matches identically to what we had before. So they just started installing this over the last week, and then they'll plaster right down to that baseboard there. So really cool to see that start going in.
Question from Sue.
Yeah.
Those indents that are on either side between aisles 3 and 4 and aisle 1 and 2, you can't see aisle 1 and 2 right now, are actually going to be TV monitors that sit right in, so they'll be nice and flush with the walls. So why do you want to show between aisle 3 and 4?
So yeah, those are the indents, or the little niches for our new digital signage. So there'll be a big flat screen TV there, and one as well between aisle 1 and 2. And And hopefully if we did all of our measurements correctly, the TV should fit so it looks like it's just perfectly in the wall there.
Yeah.
So they're working on framing that in and getting it all plastered in there.
Very exciting.
So then the last thing here on the first floor that they just started this morning, they are starting to prep this floor. So where I'm standing is where the men's restroom used to be, the women's restroom used to be, the original concession stand. And when that came out, you can see here where there used to be a wall between bathrooms, the holes where the toilet plumbing used to go down. So it's kind of bumpy and very irregular.
Yes.
So not a great floor to just put carpet down on.
No.
So we had to bring in a company that's helping smooth all that out, patch all the holes. They're going to be putting kind of a latex down to level everything out so that there's no trip hazards and that everything is nice and smooth here. So they just started that process today. You can kind of see, if you look closely, they were grinding down some of the concrete here, starting to fill in some of the holes. Then they'll put in latex and other concrete products there. A little bit further down here, you can see they're starting to seal some of the cracks and other things that are here. So they had, I think there was 4 guys here all day today starting to work on the floors. And we'll show again upstairs kind of the work that they're doing on the floors there. But this is all in preparation for our new carpet that's going in here.
So we've shown this off, we've talked about it a lot, especially if you watch Gift to Cobb County. But we are currently, so this is our little sample piece, but our carpet is being made, which is very, very exciting.
Yeah, and on Give to Cobb County Day, we were able to interview Mark, our historic theater carpet consultant,
Yes.
who was able to help us design this, but also source everything. And he informed us about the entire process of how this carpet is being made.
Yes, so it is wool, and they are from sheep in New Zealand, straight from the Shire. And what's really exciting is, so they have custom colors from these sheep, and the custom colored wool is occurring right now. I think we have
Do we have
an
a
image straight from New Zealand, guys. It's kind of a big deal.
So here, let me bring this up here. This was just taken this morning of sheep that are, there we go, if you can take a look. So
Look at those sheep. It's amazing that this occurs in nature.
So it took quite a while to search all over the world to find sheep that were the right color to match the carpet that we were installing. And we were fortunate to find this farmer in New Zealand
He has Pantone
that
sheep.
had a herd of Egyptian Art Deco color.
Pantone.
Is anybody buying this? I'm not sure.
You know, we're not getting comments, so I'm assuming that it's a yes. So you can see our custom sheep have been dip dyed in New Zealand. But for real, our wool really is being dyed. And what's really cool about this carpet, and we've talked about it, why this is worth it, the dye goes all the way down to the base. So sometimes you'll see carpets where they have the pattern just printed on top, and after wear and tear, it just wears through the pattern, and so your carpet starts looking dull, starts looking worn, starts looking uneven in places. This is dyed all the way to the floor, so that will make this carpet last a lot longer. It'll keep it vibrant, it'll keep the pattern, which we love so much. Look at that Beatley looking adorable. So we are really excited. We hope we get pictures of wool compared to sheep. I want some green sheep. You are correct.
We'll show it one more time here. So
we are switching since we're doing fancy. We're reading comments and navigating. Yeah, let's bring back that sheep. Guys, I mean, just look at the picturesque. They are just beautiful sheep.
not too bad.
They are not too bad because it's.
So that's the highbrow work that we're doing here. And thank you to Sharp Architects for helping us with that photo. Otherwise, we never would have seen the sheep from New Zealand.
Never would have seen the sheep from New Zealand. So know when you walk on our carpet that these lovely sheep were found naturally occurring in the wild. It's amazing the world we live in. I didn't know this.
Yes, the more you know.
The more you know.
All right,
Forward.
so we'll take a...
Mind our weird walking. We've been informed if we step on something that's wet, it will never come off our shoes.
So we'll peek in this room real quick. So this is the expanded foyer, and you can see really well here.
Storage room.
Sorry, yes.
You're like, wow,
In the
that's
expansion.
small.
So this is our storage room on the first floor, and if you see all kind of the wet spots on the floor here, this was just put down this afternoon. The sealant that they're putting down on all of the cracks, and then this floor, along with concessions, is actually getting an epoxy floor that will have some grit to it, so it's going to be anti-slip, a little more comfortable to stand on, but it won't have like tile floor or linoleum or anything like that. There's going to have grout lines that get dirty. There'll be no seams or grout lines, so it'll be really easy to keep clean, both in the concession stand, the prep kitchen, to be able to meet the code, but just general cleanup here where we're going to have our loading in and out.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And then we've just started to get some of the door frames painted out, as well as some of the walls and ceiling here. So this is, we're calling it our control vestibule. You can see all of the boxes here. There's going to be a monitor up here. We've got for our fire alarm system here. There'll be a phone, lighting controls, audio controls here, some shelves here. So we're just, now that this is painted out, we can start to finalize some of this. So they just got installed today, the fire alarm panel here, and we're going to be able to start installing some of the other technology that's going to be here to help us run everything.
It'll be real nice. Because right now, if any of you have seen, we're obviously doing all of this, but it's just in all different parts of the theater. We'll be up front at the ticket booth, and you'll see a big screen with all these little different camera shots. Now we can be right here monitoring a show. So when Brandon, during a show when we have 1,400 people here, which we can't wait for the day, we can really have mission control behind the scenes, which will be really nice.
And hopefully we never have a problem with Houston.
Hopefully we never have a Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Brandon, we have a problem.
Any questions?
No, people are loving the foyer.
Okay.
And the sheep are a huge hit. So thank you for enjoying our sheep. Nick at Sharp Architect, shout out for making us super
And we'll probably
sweet.
share the photo on our social media,
Totally.
so you can check out Instagram.
We'll do a caption contest.
Okay.
Caption these sheep.
Yes. Name the herd.
Yeah. Too good. Too good.
Alrighty.
Onward.
As we head upstairs, if you have any other questions, comments,
Yes.
make sure you comment below. We'd love to be able to answer your questions. And again, make sure you stay tuned, because at the very end of this live
We have an
broadcast, we have a
announcement.
big announcement. So stay tuned. But let's head upstairs and show some of the new stuff that's taking place up there.
It's my favorite part coming up, guys. It's pretty exciting.
I'll let you
Onward.
go first.
Thank you kindly, good sir. So, got some exciting things going on up here. Again, talking about the artists, especially with the paint. So, if you are an Egyptian theater goer, you would notice, pan over here, Wad, plain, simplistic. Nice, but simplistic. We wanted to zhuzh it. So we talked about before how there's parts of the theater that we were kind of oomping a little bit, that didn't have some of the decoration that's present throughout the theater. This was one of them.
It's Cody.
I was like, did anyone else just hear that? So this was one of the prime examples. So we have these nice pillars with these nice walkways. But we could add a little something. So if you look up again at that lotus pattern that has a kind of burnt red, violet undertones, which we
Rust.
just learned. Rusty
Egyptian
colors.
rust.
Egyptian rust. We wanted to add that color palette down here, and then we looked to different motifs throughout the theater. At the top of aisles 3 and aisles 2, towards the back of the theater on the main level, there's these pillars, and they have this nice little triangle detail. So we picked up that motif, made them a little 3D, and the guy was literally a wizard. We're like, can you make them 3D? And he was like, done. Like, fantastic. So we're going to keep playing with this pattern. This isn't the final one. This was just him kind of playing around, be like, do we like this? Do we not like this? Does this sound like something we're looking forward to? And then they'll be back at the end of June to do more painting, finishing this off. But again, just an example of how we can historically, accurately judge the rest of the theater.
Yeah, and pull the colors from everywhere that's existing in here, and then as we kind of zhuzh these up, as you say,
Thank you.
this design will also carry downstairs.
Yes.
There's 3 new columns downstairs where the restrooms were taken out, and we wanted to make those, since we had to keep the columns, we wanted to make them look intentional. So we are mimicking the Capitol of the top of these columns. They're going to take a mold of this, much like they did with Plaster Cove. They'll be doing that. This is all plaster as well, so they'll recreate this and then put those around those new columns and paint them out the same so that up here and downstairs all looks the same.
Yeah.
Hopefully all looks like it was meant to be here. Really cool to be able to work with an artist like that that has, you know, a wizard toolbox that can literally say, you know, do you want a little bit here? Let's tweak the color a little bit. Do you want a little bit of gold leaf here? And really be able to kind of look at it and say, no, we don't like that. Oh, let's change this a little bit. Oh,
Right.
that looks good. So it's been really fun to look at it up close, but also up here to go back, you know, almost to the front doors, and when you kind of look back up here to see how much of a statement this makes as you come through the lobby, makes this archway up here just that much more interesting.
It really does. It definitely draws the eye up. There's going to be things that hopefully when you guys come through and we can have people back and this is all done, you can be like, oh, did we add this? Because we want it to look like just a little extra something, but that's something that definitely could have been here for 90 years. So we do have one question from Roxanne. We do not have any first floor bathroom updates. It's pretty close to being done. Like, it's so close once it's shiny and like spiffed out, but no, we didn't really do much.
There's not been much progress over the last week. Really, the only things left on the first floor restrooms, we have just a couple of like door stops that need to go in.
Signs.
Yeah, just some very minor things.
It's so close to being done, guys.
So we're hoping in the next week or two we'll be able to get those bathrooms cleaned up. They're going to seal the tile floor so that can clean up and hold up really well. And then we're going to make sure we take some really good stock photos before anyone ever uses them. So they're getting really close. I'd say we're probably about 95, 98% there.
So close to being
And
done.
up here, we can go down to the restrooms real
Yes.
quick and show up here. I think just last week as we were doing our tour, they had delivered the doors for up here.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
So, oh, I didn't even know. It looks like they've installed quite a few of them.
They've been busy.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
So it looks like the women's restroom has...
Very exciting. And again, we've talked about this forever, but that cool little detail. The hinges are historical or inspired by historically accurate hinges. And again, we got our nice little indicators. You can see this one's like half and half. So again, you don't have to do the awkward feet glance. You can just see.
Is it occupied? Is it,
there's no like, oh, is there someone? Do they just have like, I don't know. But then also, we've talked about this downstairs. The women's bathroom on the first floor, particularly, had very awkward contact made. This one, they're working on getting them like hung, because you can see they're kind of moving ways. Very minimal gap, so there's no awkward eye contact, guys. Thinking of you, or thinking of your bathroom needs, because you never, no one wants to make the awkward eye contact. Yes, thank you. I agree with the comments.
So yeah, the doors here, I guess let me look in the men's restroom here.
Yeah.
Nope, not yet. So there's only 3 doors in there. I'm assuming they'll probably have those done tomorrow. So that means the restroom up here will be pretty much just in line with downstairs and
So
be about
exciting.
95, 98% there.
Very exciting. And then you can start to see we're taking up some carpet. And good news, we've been talking about taking out this carpet and having potentially some volunteers helping out. It's coming up pretty easily,
Yeah.
which is nice. So that, again, will be one of the last things to do, tear up this carpet and put down the new.
So the reason you see carpet out here, and let's go back down by the actual expanded foyer. So just morning, much like we were talking about downstairs, they're starting to patch the floor. If you see here, there's a little bit of a transition between the addition and the existing building. So they're going to feather that out. There's maybe a 1-inch kind of difference there between the 2 floors. So they're going to feather that out from the addition into the existing space. So hopefully any of us won't even notice kind of that transition. So we pulled the carpet back for now, and they're going to start working on that transition here at all 3 of the openings here. The 2 here that go into the expanded foyer, and then the one down there for the restroom vestibule.
And we talked about last week, we have the concession stand in on the, Cody's in there, existing in the expanded foyer. And next week, we're getting the first floor shipped in. And
Tomorrow.
tomorrow!
Tomorrow, the first floor concession
Right, you
stand
just
is
said
coming.
it. Next week is the tile for the concession.
Sees how much you listen. So.
I just get too excited about the sheep. So we're really excited to see the first floor come in, which will be double the length.
Probably about twice as long.
Yeah, as the
Thankfully, I
second floor.
believe it's coming in 3 pieces. This came in one piece and
It
took
was a
6
beast.
people to carry it up the stairs to get into place here. So
And the metal's coming.
it is getting delivered to the manufacturer tomorrow, and then I think maybe by the end of this week or early next week, we'll have the metal. So if you don't know what we're talking about, if you look at the railing here along the staircase, it's kind of hard to see with the ladder here, but this diamond pattern here. So we were able to replicate this, and this metal diamond pattern is going to go along the front of the new concession stand. So both up here on the second floor as well as downstairs on the first floor. So even though they brought the new concession stand in, we don't have that metal detail yet. So that'll be going in hopefully within the next week here.
Very exciting.
A lot of other we've kind of hinted towards it before, but as excited as we are for all the tile work that's gone on in the restrooms, the tile work that's going to be in the concession stands is like none of what we've already put in.
We
It's
can't
going to be
wait
very
to
cool.
see ourselves in it. That's a little teaser what it looks
There
like.
you go. So it's going to be fantastic to see that. The tile work going in. Also within the next week, we're supposed to start getting quartz for the concession stands, some of the column drink rails downstairs. So a lot of stuff coming in the next week, as well as hopefully, like I said earlier, tomorrow, some air conditioning. Is going to be quite the historic moment to start getting air
Hopefully
conditioning in here.
We're in like sweatshirts next week.
One can only hope.
Just because.
I'll probably still have a fan on and you'll be shivering.
I'll
but-
be like, hey, welcome. So we're really excited, and we've been teasing the entire time for an exciting announcement. So Alex, you got this news late last night.
Just after midnight last night. So our big news, we have been working on this for almost 2 years now. Through the state of Illinois, as part of their capital funding for different capital projects, not only roads, but infrastructure, large public projects. We kind of threw our hat in the ring.
Yes.
And have been working diligently with the Arts Alliance of Illinois, the Illinois Arts Council Agency, as well as our elected officials, to try and talk about the importance of the Egyptian theater, the economic impact driver that it is, the cultural impact that it has in our community and the region. And that has worked. And you guys have been heard. And we found out just after midnight last night that we were selected as one of 36 projects in the state of Illinois that are part of a historic funding measure for the arts sector. There has never been funding like this before in the history of Illinois. $50 million has been put in place and allocated for these 36 projects, and we, the Egyptian Theater, your Egyptian Theater, was selected as one of those sites. So this has already been approved by the legislature and is going to be going to the governor's desk. And we look forward to getting more details to find out. Hopefully this all continues to go through, but this will be very significant, absolutely game-changing.
Yes.
And this is entirely possible because of your guys' ongoing support, not only vocally as we went before City Council, as we've been raising funds for this project, but also with the donations. We just had Give DeKalb County Day and with our project here. So, you know, you can continue to help us out with this project by going to lightscameradonate.org. You can help us out by making a donation online, and it's super simple. Even $5, $10 makes a huge difference and continues to add your name to the list of people supporting this project. We want to thank you so much for all of you out there. I know so many of you watching right now have already donated to this project, and we thank you so much for your support. It makes a huge difference, and we know that when we get through this COVID crisis craziness right now, that the Egyptian Theater is going to be stronger than it's ever been in the 90-year history here. and we are so excited to roll out the red carpet,
Yes.
the multicolored sheep carpet,
sheep carpet. Yeah.
to roll that out and welcome you back in, and we can't wait to start having events again. So
We absolutely can't wait.
there'll be more news coming out soon. An official press release from the Arts Alliance just went out this afternoon, so we are continuing to get more details, but we wanted you to be one of the very first to hear from us. We could not be more excited to hear this news. This is a really big deal for DeKalb to be with. If you look at the list, it's a lot of organizations and venues in Chicago, a lot of big name institutions
Joffrey
throughout the
Ballet.
state. So we are just beyond honored and humbled to be a part of that coalition of 36 projects, arts sector projects throughout the state of Illinois, sharing $50 million to support capital improvements. And all of these projects are going to make a huge difference in all of their communities. And again, we just are pretty much speechless to have been honored with this and to have that much support from the state, really recognizing not only the history here, the importance, the economic and the cultural impact, but DeKalb County and this region, how important the Egyptian theater is.
Yeah.
We know how important it is. We know how cool we are in terms of you know, we talk about we're one of only 7 Egyptian theaters left in the United States.
Yeah.
The State of Illinois Office of Tourism named us as one of the top 20 architectural treasures in the state. So we are a big deal, and it's amazing to see that support come through. And again, this is all because of you guys.
Yes.
This is your Egyptian theater, and we hope we are making you proud, even in these times with COVID crisis and chaos.
Yes.
Still exciting stuff going on. So.
And we're really excited. We'll hopefully by the end of the week be announcing our grand total for Give DeKalb County, because you know we raised just over $31,000 thanks to you guys. What you guys donated that day in 24 hours blew our mind. Thank you so much. And now we're getting so close to announcing our bonus pool.
Yep.
So as we know, the bonus pool was the largest ever. The Give DeKalb County was the largest ever. Did it make it to 1.2? It made it
did,
to
yes.
1.2 million.
Yep.
Bananas. So we're really excited because we still have our final number to announce to you guys. And again, like Alex said, that whole day is a great success, and it's only because of you guys and your pets. So tell them they're good boys and good girls, and we will give them a treat.
All the cats, dogs, turtles, chia pets.
Dusty the cat.
Yeah. So much
They're
support
all
out there.
the best girls and boys in the world, and they deserve all the loves, courtesy of the Egyptian theater. So we're really excited. We'll hopefully have that number out to you guys by the end of the week. So we've had a really good week so far, and it's only day 1.
Yes, it feels like a Monday, but
Feels
it's
like a
already
Monday.
Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please join us back here again next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. for another
Yes.
virtual Hard Hat Tour. As we mentioned, there's a lot of stuff supposed to be happening just in the next couple of days. It's almost going to be a short week because of the holiday yesterday, but there's still going to be a lot of progress here. We hope you join us back here to see all of that progress, and stay tuned across all of our social media as we continue to bring you updates about our big announcement with the state funding and Give DeKalb County. That's going to be final numbers coming soon.
We will see you next week, guys.
All right.